Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Kubota Credit Corporation. Basically, I just bought this new machine here. This is an L3901, and I was able to get it at 0% interest, paid over 8 years. Okay. Now here's the thing: there's no such thing as 0% interest. Somehow you're paying for that money, right? So we're going to talk about that in this video. So in this video, we're talking about credit, Kubota credit, but I'm also going to be talking about a lot of other things. In this channel, I do cover a lot of different things, you know, what I am going to be touching on is inflation. I'm going to be touching upon the higher emission standards and how all that affected my decision. So I am going to talk about a lot of different things. For those of you following my channel that might not specifically be interested in this, you know, in tractors in general, I am going to be talking about economics, money printing, you know, the higher emission standards, like I said. So some of that stuff may interest you. Okay, it's gonna, you know, I'm gonna kind of go through my decision tree of why I decided to finance this. Okay, now for those of you following my channel, you know that, you know, I could have just as easily paid for this machine outright. Okay, I didn't need to use Kubota Credit Corporation. You know, my guns are worth more than this machine, right? All you gotta do is look through my channel and you'll see that. But I intentionally decided that I wanted to finance this machine, and I'm gonna go through a lot of the reasons why. Now, first of all, I want to tell you guys that this is actually my second Kubota. I've posted videos of my other tractor, me working on it. That one was the L3800. Basically the same model, just I bought that some 8 years ago. I still have it. Basically, I needed two machines. I needed to have two different machines at different locations, and it just turned out to be too much of a hassle for me. You know, moving the tractor back and forth between the two different locations. So it's just a lot more efficient for me just to have a second machine at a different location. This way, you know, I'm covering two different areas. I can still move the tractor around with my trailer in those areas, but I don't have to go like between the two furthest points. So the point I'm bringing that up is that it's important for you guys to know this is not my first tractor. Okay, and the first tractor that I bought, I think it was back in like 2013 or something. I also financed that through Kubota Credit Corporation for similar reasons, although my reasons for financing this now are even stronger. Okay, so first thing I'm going to say is this machine over here with the loader. You know, basically it's a $30,000 machine with the loader. That includes the sales tax. It's a $30,000 machine, and you know, the total cost, right? Because here's the thing: when you purchase this machine and you finance it, like I said, even though Kubota tells you 0% financing, there's no such thing as 0% financing. Somehow or other, you're paying for that, you know, for borrowing the money. So when you purchase this machine or a machine like it, you have to take an extended warranty, and you also have to have insurance on the machine. Okay, and the reason for that is that, you know, let's say you run this off a cliff or something, you know, and basically tell Kubota, listen, I'm not paying for the machine anymore because I don't have a machine. Come, come get your machine. You know, and all they have is parts. I mean, now they're going to be out a lot of money. So they're not going to let you finance this machine unless you have the extended warranty and you have the insurance on it. Okay, so between the extended warranty, I think was like another $2,000, and the insurance was like another $4,000, $4,000 or $5,000. But basically, no, $4,000. The total cost of this machine with all that extra stuff on it was $37,000. So I went from $30,000 to $37,000 because in order to get the financing, you have to get the extended warranty and the insurance. So now basically this ends up being a $37,000 machine. So basically that's about a 20% interest rate. Okay, you know, now I'm just saying, I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying that that's what it is, right? I just want you guys to be aware. When you go to Kubota and you buy a tractor and they tell you 0% financing, you know, you're gonna pay for it. It's in, you know, somehow or other you're gonna pay interest on it. You know, they just roll it up a different way. right? You're paying for it through the extended warranty. You're paying for it through the insurance. Now, the thing for you guys to also understand is when you finance this machine, Kubota is actually creating money, right? They're creating money. Kubota Credit is basically a bank, right? Kubota Credit Corporation, they're a bank. And the banking rules allow them to create money as long as it's backed by something. So in this case, they're creating this money, and the asset that they're backing it with is the machine itself, okay? That's just no different than if you go to mortgage a house, right? The house is the asset that's used to create that money, right? The bank that gives you the mortgage, they create that money. The banking rules allow them to do that. That's how the money supply basically, you know, it basically it grows to fit the needs, right? It does that on its own. And this is no different than, let's say you own a gold mine, right? And you bring gold, right, to the bank, and they take that as collateral, and they give you money. Hey, now they're using gold to create money. So there's no difference between money that's backed by gold or money that's backed by a tractor. It's an asset. You know, it's money that's backed by some asset. So that's really important. Now, here's the thing. When the government creates money, they don't put up an asset. Okay, they put up debt. Okay, now that's bullshit. Okay, there's no actual debt that's been created. They're never actually going to pay it back. That's just a phrase that they're using. Right? They're calling it debt. The national debt, all that is a representation of how much money the government has created. Okay, and I think right now we're up to some, I don't know, 20 or so trillion dollars. Now, here's the thing, so we all understand each other. The number trillion should not even be mentioned unless we're talking about counting molecules or counting stars, okay? There's not even a trillion grains of sand on the earth, okay? To put it into further perspective for you, 1 trillion seconds is 31,000 years, okay? A trillion seconds, 31,000 years. So this is a completely unimaginable number that's outside of our understanding, really, right? So unless you're talking molecules or stars, you should not mention the word trillion, okay? However, the government is able to do this because they're basically they're creating this money electronically on a computer, and all it is just a representation of how much money they've created. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, so when they're talking about increasing the national debt by $3 trillion, all right, they're roughly saying that they're going to increase the money supply. They're going to print up electronically. They're going to print up another 20% worth of money. And this is a really important consideration, the reason why I decided to finance this rather than just pay it outright. Because here's the thing, if I know that the government's going to be printing money, what that means is the value of the current money is going to be going down, okay? Because now there's just going to be a lot more money in circulation. So the reason why I'm financing this machine over here, right, rather than paying $30,000 outright, is, you know, even though I'm going to be paying over the 8 years at this finance, I'm going to be paying $37,000, right? Because of that extra, because of that interest that they've kind of imputed in there. I'm going to be paying it back with cheaper money, right? Because as the government just prints up this money, basically it's inflation. You know, they're spreading this money out there. Everything goes up, right? I know that they're printing money, so I'm going to just start charging more. In fact, I've been charging more for my services over the last. I started in 2020 when it started with the stimulus checks. So I have been continually increasing my prices because of the money that I see the government printing. So when I'm looking at this, I'm saying, okay, if they're going to be printing money, I want to buy the asset now and pay it back in the future with cheaper money. Okay, so that's part of the reason why the main reason why I financed this. Okay, now. The other thing to consider is they've changed the emission requirements. So in this machine, there's something called DPF, which basically is a clean of burning system. So it's an electronically activated clean. Without going too much into detail about that, basically they've added electronics to the machine. They have, and this is basically something new. Okay, this is a new thing. It's probably been around for a couple of years. You know, my older tractor, my L3800, it's all mechanical. You know, there's a lot less electronics in it. So that is, it's a known quantity. Okay, let's put it that way. It's a known quantity. I can't say how good the electronics that they've added into this machine are going to be. I just know in general, anything that's electronic is generally going to break sooner, right? You can look at safes, right? The manual combination safes, some of them are over 100, 150 years old. The digital ones, they rarely go 20, 30 years before something goes wrong, right? Because it's electronics. Electronics just go bad after a while. So mechanical stuff always is going to last longer than digital stuff. So here's the thing. So they've added all this new emissions BS into this machine, and I don't know how good it is. Okay, so as part of my consideration, do I want to pay for this thing outright or finance it? I said, they've got this DPS crap in there. I don't know how good it is. I don't know if the machine's just going to stop working after 6 months. By financing it, right, and paying it over 8 years, if this machine stops working, right, because of this DPF crap they've put into it, I'm basically going to take it to Kubota, drop it off in their lot, and say, I'm not paying you anymore. Okay, here's your collateral. Take it back. I'm not paying you anymore. I mean, what are you going to do to me? I'm giving you the machine back. It's not like I'm stealing it. When you go after my credit, I'll dispute it, right? You gave me a crappy machine, if that turns out to be the case. So that's another reason why I chose to finance this machine. They've changed the technology. I don't know what I'm getting, so I'm going to spread it out over 8 years. So if I end up getting garbage, they get the garbage back, okay? So that's another reason why I chose to finance this rather than pay it outright, okay? So I touched on a couple of things over there. I talked about the effect of inflation, of money printing, okay? And also the effect of this new environmental technology that they're putting into machines that's just it's just an unknown variable. So again, this is something that it's just factored into my equation. I'd rather finance the machine. If it turns out to be junk, I just say, just take it back. It's not working. It's not what it promised me. So from my perspective, okay, I mean, yes, I'm paying $37,000 instead of $30,000 by financing this for 8 years. But basically, that's my insurance policy. My insurance policy is that I know that this machine is going to go it's going to go that 8 years. Okay, and I have full confidence that they're selling me a good product, because otherwise, they wouldn't be financing it over 8 years. If they thought that there was a chance that this product was going to be garbage, they wouldn't be looking to finance it themselves. They'd be saying go to some other bank or for financing, or pay it cash or whatever. So the fact that they're willing to finance it themselves is a good indication to me that this is probably a really good machine, right? Because they're financing at 0% over 8 years. Like I said, you are paying for it. It's just in a different way. I could have walked away paying $30,000 for this. Instead, I'm willing to pay $37,000. I don't care what they call it, warranty, insurance, whatever. You're paying for it, so it's in there, right? That's the cost of borrowing the machine. I think that I'm really getting a bargain, because at the rate at which they're going to be printing money over the next 10 years, I suspect that this machine is going to be, if you go to buy it new, because they're going to be continually raising the prices, to match the money printing that's going on. One of the things to understand is when you pick up a shovel, right? The value of a shovel today is the same exact value of a shovel 100 years ago. Okay, so if you have a shovel that can move, let's say, I don't know, 3 pounds of dirt, right? All right, you got a shovel that moves 3 pounds of dirt, right? The true value of the shovel is that it moves $3 of dirt, not that it's worth $15. The value of the shovel is that it moves 3 pounds of dirt. So the same shovel 100 years ago had the same value. It moves 3 pounds of dirt. So the value of the shovel has not changed. The only thing that has changed is the value of the money. 100 years ago, that shovel may have been 25 cents, 50 cents. I don't know what it was back then, but $1, whatever it was. Now it's $15. But the value of the shovel has not changed. So that's something really important to have a firm grasp of. when you're when you're looking at things and trying to figure out what they're worth. Same thing with with the price of oil or gasoline. The price of the oil and gasoline has not changed. Just the value of your money has changed. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you're not a member of my channel, please subscribe. If you got some comments or questions, even if you disagree with me, throw it to the comment section. Thanks a lot. Talk to you guys soon.